Yo, that's so cool. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are finally going to be taking a look at Kiss of Life's Midas Touch. Their dance practice just got released less than a day ago, so I get to look at the dance practice as well as the music video. I've always been trying to avoid this one because they just came out with it, and I just took a look at their entire discography pretty recently, and so that means that whenever they have a comeback, I get to release older content, so it's been really fun promoting that out. But yeah, I cannot wait to take a dive into this, so let's go ahead and get started. So I was seeing some comments that this is giving like a Gen 1 vibe, and it absolutely is. Oh. Nice. Cute. Fun. So I don't know who choreographed this, but this is giving like heavy Team Bebe vibes in like the most complimentary way. Specifically when I saw their crew preview, because of a Patreon request, which was really fun. It's giving that kind of vibe. I'm digging it. Ah, this is giving, that gave like a little bit of their solos, right? I watched 3 out of 4 of the solos dance-wise, but I've heard of all 4 of them, like music video-wise. Fun. Ooh, throw that away. That was fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at the music video. Gotta get got my English lyrics ready to go. I'm ready. Like a spider. Oh, her hair was cool there. That's so dangerous. But I know it's CGI, but the concept. No one would be that elegant riding that quickly on a vehicle. Oh. Oh, that's a fun vibe. We got some Medusa imagery in here too. Wow. Yeah, there's your Medusa. It also gives me like, if we're talking like era first gen, it does remind me of like Britney Spears a little bit, like that kind of genre of pop. Do you know what I mean? Sugarcoat, yep. Yep, that's hers. Loves the game. Kitty Cat is hers. Countdown. Yes. Oh, I'm a fan of that. I'm so glad I've released what I did as my older reactions. It's so fitting. Yo, that's so cool. Truly, like the imagery is super dope. I'm gonna go do a little deep dive real quick so I have a better perspective, at least on the music video end. Okay, did my mini dive into Greek mythology. So real quick, yes, it's giving, honestly, it gives a little Britney vibes in terms of era of the track. Really fun. But okay, Midas touch. If you don't know who Midas is, King Midas is the son of Zeus in Greek mythology, where everything that he touches turns to gold. Now, there's also imagery of stones, like people turning into stone. That has more so to do with Medusa, and that's a lot of snake imagery you end up seeing in this as well. You do end up seeing the figure, like the actual Medusa head. Right here, I think, honestly, she looks like she is a chocolate in a box of chocolates. I don't quite know how this particularly fits in the Greek mythology, but the spider, I was intrigued about this, so I just did a little Google search. I don't know if this was the intention, but there was a creature called Arachne, which is a figure in Greek mythology that it all translates to spider or arachnid. It's a figure who challenged Minerva to a weaving competition. Now, here's what's interesting about that. Minerva is the one who turned Medusa's hair into snakes. So that's why for me, I'm like, maybe we can entertain that potential idea. And so after this is a fun little vibe. Now this definitely has the most like sensual, this is of course the thumbnail of the video, out of all of them, the most of a tease into it. Eat your love like spiders eat their prey. Now this part, no, it has like the little eyes. Now peacock, if I go, I just, baby Google searches, and you can do this too. It's just learning how to like Google stuff. I who knows if I'm even close, but peacock in Greek mythology, there was a individual who owned a peacock, and it was Hera, who is the wife of Zeus. And I don't know if Hera was the one who gave birth to Midas. I don't know that, but I feel like we have like this family interwoven thing. It says, hey baby, I've been watching a sweet danger that unraveled you. It's a whole, like, this is giving such a whole vibe. Yeah, and then there's a little stone there. Now, for this, I don't know who she's representing, but it definitely feels like we've, oh, look, there's little kisses right there over. It says, kiss it, is how it says right there. Boom. And honestly, she's got, like, the killer nails. Super dope, really cool. And I love the bubble. Like, this look on her is so freaking cool. Like, this is really cool. And then, of course, you have, there's your heart, and then there's the snakes. And that right there, that's Medusa. I think there's a lot of that type of imagery. And Medusa was a baddie, So I like the fact that we have, like, Midas touch turning to gold, but we also have stone represented throughout. So I just kind of wanted to touch on that. I, of course, want to learn more. There's probably so much more that I missed. I just did, like, an initial, here's the things that I remember in my head. What does it mean? This is a guess. But Medusa and Midas, definitely there. Makes sense why there's a lot of gold imagery, but some of the coins have Medusa's face on it, so it kind of feels like it's you're playing on two different stories. One just feels more obvious than the other, and I think is a whole vibe. But we're here for the choreography, so we're gonna go back and take a look at that. Okay, from the top here, it starts immediately. Very full, very powerful. I love it where it's kind of like it takes two to tango. I love that vibe specifically really cool. I love how they take it and then we build on the energy with our arms onto that position. Really fun. They do a great job, honestly, of connecting with the head and really using choreography to make it a whole moment of dynamics with everybody. So fun. They're also very equally yoked now, very cohesive as a group. And I would say, if I were to name a group that has the quickest development time to get from unrefined to refined in how they operate together. And I really only use this particular like notion when you look at a group and they're known more so for their individuality than synchronicity. They're not known for synchronicity like I would say The Boys or 17 or Dreamcatcher or G-Friend. You know, those are groups that are known for choreography and everybody being that crisp, clean range and timing. They have more individuality, more stage presence. Everybody's got a role and you can really see them fit in that. But naturally over time, you do end up seeing groups that start out pretty unrefined, ATEEZ being a perfect example of this. And over the years, you see them really start to get their niche, really calibrate the choreography that matches their aesthetic as a group and their artistry, and you see them all start to match in how they execute things together but still maintain their individuality. They have the fastest turnaround time out of any group I've looked at so far with that in mind. Less than a year, just looking at from their debuts, their debut all the way until, you know, caught up on Midas Touch. It's night and day. It really is. In terms of how they operate together, right? I like seeing them individually. It's awesome. They hold their own, all of them do, as soloists, which is so cool and great to see in a group, but they now, like, they look like Kiss of Life together, and I really like that, and it's really cool, and I'm happy that I'm able to genuinely say that, because it's, give the flowers where flowers are due, like, love it, and it's such a, like, it has such an iconic vibe to the track, like, Midas Touch, everything, I got that Midas Touch, okay, and they're showing it. I love it. Love how they're taking it. They're sitting in a nice little, you know, fingerprint of a groove that they did earlier with the hips and how they're rotating and swinging the hips. So that was really fun to see. Turning it through. I love that part. Boom and boom, boom. They dance so full. I love that. Notice that everybody, their arms are up except for, I think that's Julie, and she brings her arms down and then she brings them up. Love that choice. Accents there. And I like how we have this little connection. Taking those arms down. Have a nice little moment with the outside ladies. I think that's Belle and Hanul. And then you have Natty as well. Have that accent, boom, and then it looks like she's pulling the heart. Really fun on the imagery there. A good choreography moment, taking it through. Then she throws her hand, really nice and forceful. Natty does a nice little quick turn, super fun. Then we have a little wall to kind of showcase and stop Julie where she is, and then everybody showcasing a wall. She's looking at both. With confidence, of course. She takes it and accents it away with her hand. Super cute. Natty's entered the chat. Ding, ding, da. Likes with the accent with the fingers and the drop. Using this is always really nice because you can showcase, it's a subtle, honestly, it's a fixed point of the chin. So as they drop, this chin stays where it is, but my head is going to push back in order to keep it where it is. And so it makes it look like you're going deeper, but it makes it feel more accented. It's a nice little, you know, it's cool. I like it. And I like having the accent, what's going on with the fingers too. You have, I think it was Natty and Julie extended their legs out. Belle and Hanul kept their feet together, and then they expanded their legs out. Super fun. They take it through, nice little thread over of the head to the other side, bringing it in, nice little gun. You can tell there is a difference, but it's so subtle now compared to how it used to be. It used to be very, very apparent. You could tell Belle, I do know she didn't really sign up to be like the dancer of the group. Totally fine. But she's holding her own with those that are the dancers, or that's one of their roles. You know, you can really tell how she's sitting, really using the back to arch and create a nice moment in frame. And then you can see that she's placing her weight more equally between the 2 feet. That's why her arch doesn't feel so profound in opposition in comparison to Natty's, but both look great. You know, it looks fine. It doesn't look out of place or anything. And I do have it stopped. So it's not like I noticed that the first time. I just noticed it because I just circumstantially paused it here. So that's always really good. Range is really good. Timing is great here. I like the switch. Boom, boom. I really like that tension build on that. Really fun. She takes it, da-da-da, da-da. I love the interaction that they have with each other. It's really fun. They honestly have some of the most interaction between the members in choreography that I've seen. Yes, there's only 4 of them, but I mean, I'm used to like, I'm a 21 girly, you know. It's been a hot minute and a half since I've done like an analysis of a group of 4, and I was just a fan of 21. I didn't do any analysis of their work or anything, and they're not known for their dancing either. They're just iconic women. But in this case here, like, I don't really do a ton of groups of 4. A lot of times they're bigger groups. So they're like one of my smallest, outside of Chungha, marathon groups that I've done. But you can still be very interactive with your group. It's just part of their stage presence and personality as a group. And I really like that. And I hope they keep that as they expand and mature as artists, as they find their niche and continue to build their niche and their lore. You know, their lore is different than like ATEEZ or Dreamcatcher or in Hyphen. Like, they have a different kind of concept, but theirs has a more like a realistic twist to it. It doesn't have like we're in an alternative universe, but this one feels more so that way than their earlier stuff. Their earlier stuff feels like they all have separate stories that all combine together in this huge, you know, music video premise, which is super dope. But I love the tie back to their solo tracks, and of course we'll cross that when we get there. I think that's super fun. But I like the accent that they do. I like what she did, da-da-da, and she's the only one that doubled up on those fingers because she's our feature. It makes sense. Everybody else was nice and still in that moment. Branching it around looks really fun. They take it through. Now Belle goes whoom, like she's controlling the other 3. Really fun. Once again, have that chen. It's a fun little fingerprint you're seeing throughout the choreography. Really, really enjoyable. Swinging it through, da, 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 da. But instead of like swinging the arms, they're kind of brushing it away. So even the hands have this same, you know, pull that you're seeing from the head, from the hip. There's a lot of that happening, which is fun. And they're not repeating it too much either, which makes it enjoyable to see. That danger. Then they swing it, drop it down a level. Then she takes it, wow, nice little accent on danger, hitting it through voom. Of course, you have Julie just goes for it with a nice little pelvic thrust there. They take it up. I appreciate Hondo being in the back corner. She is still technically underaged, I think, right? I don't think she's 20 yet, or 19, 20. And I would say this one is not as, I don't think any of their choreos are necessarily questionable. There's just a couple moves, and I think one of them with the hip, 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 and they go down the accent. If you know, I forgot what that one's called, but they've done a pretty good job on just being mindful that Hanu is in the group. And I'm always one that wants to be an advocate. We'll leave the like more mature concepts when everybody's an adult. I feel like we can be patient enough for that if that's really what you want to do. I'm never a fan of, regardless of how close somebody is to an adult age, just they're a baby, you know, they're a baby adult, or they're still, you know, they're still learning. There's that social growth taking place of. It's just all that to say, I'm very mindful because I do teach people that are teenagers that are about to transition into being adults, and I just empathize with, that's my responsibility as a choreographer and as a teacher, is to protect their youth while they have it, right? And so that's why for me, I'm always just more mindful when I notice dancers or performers that are kind of teetering in that age. I want them to still be able to maintain that youthfulness and not have to be put in a position like Taemin was with Shiny. As awesome as he was, I was not a fan of how early he debuted, but I cover all that during the Shiny Marathon. That has nothing to do with this. All that to say, I appreciate the fact that a lot of the movements here, they don't really do anything super crazy, which I appreciate because they have the potential and they have the physicality and the stage presence to pull it off well, but I like the consideration that's in play here with Hanu. So that's just kind of like my little tidbit. But anyway, from here, I like the subtleties, that boom boom. I like that choice, really nice. Love Miss Hanu having a little accent taking place, really fun. The little alright, they take it. I love that swivel around with the arch. Then this little part right here, it does remind me of a little, if you think about just the body and not the arms, it does remind me a little bit of like a catwalk that you see in Vogue. Fun to see, but I like the arms. It's super cute. The tension there, really easy way to showcase our feature, which is Belle. And so it was good to see that level change from Julie before the transition took place. That roll there, once again, really full in energy. Love that. And they all bleed over into Belle. They make it a moment. She accents it. So it feels like they each have opportunities to control each other in different ways. And I love that. Once again, melting the energy. It's either like a push and pull, which is super fun. That's like the teasing aspect of it, is they're using the choreography to create this push and pull effect, like I'd already mentioned. Like what you see in relationships, that push-pull tactic, you know? It kind of feels like that. Switching it through, nice little accent from Julie in the back. Then you have Hano's featured here. She brings it up. That was a fun little canon, but boom, boom. And then you have Natty and Belle do it after Hano moves on to the next move. So that's what a canon is. It is different than a ripple. A ripple is one move that is transferred over, but a canon is a sequence of moves that have different beginning and end times, but it's the same sequence. So that's really fun to see. I love that hit, that ba-da-ba-da-da, nice syncopation choice. Very clean on even the angle of the arm and whether we're going flat or with a fist. Very clear there. Love it. I like that part too. Boom. In this choreo, honestly, it looks really good as a group. I don't know. I don't think I've seen anybody, because I've been trying to avoid watching the choreo until reacting to it here with you guys. I don't know how this looks with people who do it by themselves. I'm very curious about that, because there's certain movements that look really fitting and they kind of feel like puzzle pieces. Like each girl's a puzzle piece, and them being in the particular formation that they're in makes it all fit together, which of course is a choreographer or movement director's job, and they're doing it very, very well. Of the fact that it just feels so fitting, and it feels very appropriate to have all four of them. It just having three do it, it would feel a little bit off to me in my head. But that's, I just may on my own time just look at the choreo of like just go see some covers of people doing this one like by themselves just to see how it looks, because I bet it looks great. But I really love seeing all four of them do it, which just shows once again the cohesiveness of their physicality, and that's just so impressive to me to see just the quick turnaround time of that from where they were to where they are now. They were great before, but I think they look more unified here, and I love that. Head was really nice, and they take the little shoulder, boom, love the little accent there, super cute. Then they take a boom, boom, tension, so they're switching between accents. I just hit my hat, but they go boom, usage of the back, that boom, boom, melting through it, so fun. And they take it, boom, love that. Notice they're building and creating energy from the wrist. They're not just picking it out with a finger. They're using the wrist to create a lot of these moments. So if you're somebody that covers this choreo, that may be something to think about. If you're noticing your hand doesn't quite look the same as theirs, see what your wrist is doing and see if you're pulling from that source versus your fingers or your arm. And that could be something helpful for you. So that's my little tidbit there. Once again, they're tapping there. Now this part right here, it is cute. Like this is a cute vibe. They're not all over each other. Like if they were, I'd be like, hey, we got Hano in the group, you know, she ain't an adult yet. You know, but it's very fun, it's playful, and it gives, once again, it continues that swing, push, and pull effect, and I like it. It's super fun. They take it, present out, super cute. It is, it's pretty polyrhythmic. So if you think about it, the lower half has a consistency to it, that da-da, da-da, and then they're switching up what they're doing in the upper body. So I think that's really fun. Definitely took some time to figure that out. Even their head, where they're looking, is really nice and refined too. Very intentional. Now from here, you have your two branch away for a second, having Natty and Julie push to the back. Really nice choice. Then they hit it, boom, boom, boom. Love that. Now, are there Easter eggs or fingerprints of choreography from previous works in here? Most likely, would not shock me at all, especially if they have the same choreographer. I have not figured out who the choreographer is. I may need to, let me go just do a little quick check to see. I don't know if it's the same choreographer. So I don't know who choreographed it, so if any of you guys can dig and help me, that would be great, because I think whoever's doing it, I'm assuming it could be the same choreographer, and that's something I've noticed across the board when I marathon groups, and that's what I love about marathoning groups, is because you can see a trend when a choreographer goes in with a group, because you notice it with the boys, 17, 80s, pretty much everybody that I've seen that has like a choreographer and they don't really puzzle piece it, nothing wrong with that, for sure. But I'm saying, like, whoever has like a resident choreographer and works with them for an extensive period of time, you're gonna see everybody become cohesive. And that's a really big thing that I talk about in general that you want to have with groups. With soloists, of course, it's completely different. But when you have a group, it's just really nice to have that because it's going to be more visually pleasing on the choreographic front as well as when you see them unified. It's just something that you naturally want to see as a spectator or as somebody who's an observer of a group, right? So I don't know who's a part of whatever they're doing, but my gut tells me it's the same person that's been working with them before, because they're vibing very well with this, and this is very fitting to them, and it doesn't feel like out of place at all, even though this is a very different feel than some of their other stuff. But I know they've teetered on the 2000s vibes on pop and hip hop, so I can't wait to see what else they do in the future, because that's tugging at my nostalgic groove pocket. You know, I really liked doing Sugarcoat by Natty. It just felt so good to do, and so I'm curious if they have other tracks. I heard the song Nothing, like a B-side that they have. I haven't heard it yet, but I heard that one has like that 2000s hip-hop old school. I don't know though, so don't take my word for it. So you please correct me humbly if I'm wrong, but yeah, I may just listen to that on my own time just out of curiosity. But anyway, it's just really fun to just, I want to say good job, choreographer. They're doing a great job on this one. It looks great. The little shimmy action, it did feel like they were kind of, you know, using the hips and the shoulders to really make that moment as they made one move in range just more consistent. Really fun. That Midas touch, right? Notice, I think every time they do touch in that way, it's either here and it controls them like a multitude, like all of them being controlled, or they use the heart, and you do see that heart imagery in the music video. So I'm assuming that was an active choice there. Love that they take you through, and then it's time for Julie to enter the chat. Love that dropping down. Yes, I love that choice as well. That's fun. That da 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 da. Love that little groove. Yes to that dee 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 dee, and swim it. Yes to this. This section is so fun. It's simple but satisfying. It feels good. It writes her rhythm beautifully. It doesn't take away from her lyricism, but it just feels like we're just environmentally pushing energy, and I really like that. Pushing it through that voom, voom. I like that. Nice little head ISO to a transition. Ding, ding. Of course, little gun. We see the guns in the beginning a little bit, but we see them a little bit more here. Pushing through the tension. Boom, ding, ding. They did a double pop chest to the diagonal, which is fun. Looking away. Boom, boom. They stop. Natty has her moment. Yes, swinging it through, and then it turns into a little ripple, and then Belle has her moment swinging, like hanging out in the back, but she has this deceptive behind her back gun. Natty extends it out, that signals Belle, come here, you know. I notice she takes it and brings it in as Belle moves. That's a really subtle thing. Don't know if the choreographer made that choice or Natty, but I like it because it feels complimentary, and that even though Belle is over on this side, she still feels like she's a part of what's going on because her movement matches the range of the choreo from the previous feature, and that's really fun. It's just so fun seeing those. The melts around really nice. Great job on showcasing levels at all times. Super fun. Once again, on the heart, so we're noticing that fingerprint there. Nice little moment there as she does a slow head rotation around while maintaining presence. Everybody is just peeling and rotating their head through or having a moment to complement whatever Hanno just did. Little peace sign and she brings it in. Super fun. Everybody hits it. Super cute as they accent it back. So we get through ding ding, and then they have a nice little moment accent with the hands. That part, ding 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 ding. Love that with the fingers. Pushing through, boom, boom, once again, boom, accent with the chest. Ta-da! That once again, so fun, so clean. Bringing it through, ding, ding, yes. Yeah, boom, swinging it through. Love that energy, boom, boom. Oh, you know what? This also gives me like, I did say Britney and I stand by that. It's giving that whole era. I think I was thinking Christina a little bit too. Christina Aguilera, if you know, you know. It gives, honestly, if we're going to be even more specific, it reminds me of during that era, the TV shows, sometimes they had, was it like Sabrina? That was in the 90s though. So like, I'm thinking, it just reminds me of just the era of like mystery shows or like these magical shows, and they have this track in the back for their theme song. It kind of gives that energy too. And you guys, I cannot wait for all of these analogies to be coming in the group chat happening in the comments for this video, because it's just fun whenever things like this just remind you. It just feels nostalgic, but in a really great way. And it like unlocks the core memory for you. You're like, oh my gosh, yes, whatever was working, I love seeing it come back in rotation. It's just fun. And it's nice to to see a new generation take on it because it's different lived experience, right? And a different media exposure as well. So how things are vibing, like with the Greek mythology, I think super dope too. A completely different historical lens in comparison to the type of track they're building it on. This is so cool. I think it'd be really cool too if the mythology, like how they're utilizing it, is also collaborative to their 2000s niche that they're going for. I'm curious if that was also part of the production of it. I don't know if we'll ever know, but that's just something that would make it like icing on the cake if even the choice was tailored to the era that they're trying to pull that nostalgic factor from. It's just so fun. I love the wordplay and imagery. Super cool. Bringing it through. Boom, da, da, da. Cute. Ta-da. Once again, they do a little touch again, and then they drop it down. Now they're doing it the other side. I like whenever they choose to do that. Yeah, so this is flip-flopped. I did say this. They do a lot of times this check mark formation, and I always said that I appreciate when they do it throughout multiple times, because it gives opportunity to make it more balanced. Because when you have an even group and you want to have a natural point, one side's going to be compromised, or you're going to have somebody that's directly in the back, so they're sacrificed a little bit in the visual of the choreo. So even when they decide to take the move, and instead of doing it one direction, they do it the other direction, even if they're in a different order, sometimes it just breathes a different life into the movement. So it makes you appreciate it and redigest what you watch, which I think is fun. And it actually trains and it drills you a little bit. It's like a little drill, which is fun. Boom, boom. Love that. Really fun. Bringing it through. That part was much cleaner the second time. First time, of course, they were just a little bit different in how they were doing it. But here it felt very intentional, which I like that. Super fun. Touch, boom, throw it away. Yes. Now this part's really fun. There's sugarcoat. Yep. So it's good. All this. Now I don't know if they're doing the movements in cadence to, I mean, I learned the course of Sugarcoat. I didn't learn anybody else's, but I did watch them. So are they doing some movements? This would have the highest chance over here of doing some movement that tailored to their solo tracks as a feature moment. But I think this is so fun seeing this. She's like, we ain't playing games. And then you have kitty cat, that part, and I like how everybody have their own vibe. Cue, and then they throw it. Countdown, yes ma'am, and we walk, yes. Everybody parties the way they want to. Ah, that's so fun. It's probably my favorite part is that wordplay and just the overall vibe, and the choreo. It just looks really fun and very fitting on the girls. Taking it through, boom, boom, nice little accent to the outside. Bringing it back in to interact. I love this choice, boom, boom, boom. Trace it down, then you have these accents happening in the back, utilizing your other two dancers. Swinging it through. Love that little accent with the hip. Then they do it to the other side. Even notice they're looking at each other, and I just think that's really fun. They take it, whoa, da-da-da, yes. Then they're doing it again. Once I think it's just in a different order. Very clean, nice, and the more you do a groove or the more you do a movement sequence throughout your choreo, the easier it's going to be to remember it, and you're all going to be on the same page a little bit faster, because when you clean choreography, which means you're going to refine it to where it needs to be that degree of cleanliness for whatever you're using it for. Sometimes when you're doing like a competition, you're going to want your choreography cleaner than if you're just doing choreography so you can just hang out on the dance floor for a good time. It doesn't really need to be that clean, and I know a lot of people want to make sure they get the essence of when they do K-pop covers, like myself. I try to at least get the essence or intention that the members do the choreography with, versus just going on my own. But sometimes that just naturally happens if like a backup dancer does the choreo a way that I mesh with really well. And that's happened just one or two times, but it's just really fun playing around with those elements just whenever you do covers. But I really very much appreciate what we're seeing. It's just so fun. It's nice. And I'm glad I waited to the dance practice so we can really see the choreo cleanly and clearly. Hitting it through, boom, boom. I love that choice. And they take it, nice little bleed around. Rolling through, love it. Great levels. Accent out. They have her right here. Present the hand. She said, oh, we grab, boom, throw it away. Touch, and we finish it out, boom, and then a nice delayed finish at the end, and then they slowly look front. Fun little moment. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I'm so glad, like I said, I'm glad I was able to look at the dance practice and the actual music video so I can really appreciate the choreography, but the concept, because I think that was super fun, very fitting, and I love those little nuances of fingerprints from their previous stuff. I think that was so fun. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to see more Kiss of Life, I have some of it on YouTube, but most of it still on Patreon. I did a mini marathon a couple months ago of this group, and so as they have more comebacks, I will be releasing older reactions. And so I'm very excited to be able to continue seeing them grow and become more and more iconic, because they really do give off that energy, and I really enjoy watching what they do, especially when they have dancers involved. It is so dope seeing what happens. But when they operate as a group of 4, they hold it down just as effectively, which is very impressive. And it showcases that they are a force to be reckoned with as a Gen 5 girl group. So I hope for much success from them, and hopefully I'm able to be a positive addition to your viewing if you are a fan of Kiss of Life. I have been enjoying watching them, and I'm excited to continue on. Once again, my name is Jess. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.